A plus. I give the Coast Guard an A plus, and I have for a long time. I don't think there's any brand, no matter where you go, that's gone up more than the Coast Guard. And that started with Harvey, as far as I'm concerned. The big hurricane from a year ago in Texas, which was, I guess they say, the biggest dump of water we've ever had in this country, and probably so. I was just asking the difference between Harvey and what happened over the last week, and you know, Harvey is really in a class by itself, but this was a really bad one, and this one stuck up. It came up pretty quick. But I will say that they've done a fantastic job, saved, I guess, close to 70 lives.
131, sir.
How many?
131.
Wow, 131. Now with Harvey, you've all heard this number. What was the number with Harvey?
I'd have to confirm it.
Over 11,000.
11,000 somehow.
No, this is 11,000 lives saved at Harvey. The Coast Guard is so important to this country, and the job they've done is incredible. As you know, we've ordered new cutters. We have brand new cutters coming, and you've already gotten some. And a lot of new equipment. We have new helicopters coming out of the budget. We spent $1.5 trillion, so at least you should get some helicopters out of it, right? But it's going to be completely rebuilt with brand new ships and boats and helicopters and everything else. So it's really great. Big difference between now and what it was 3-4 years ago. It's been totally rebuilt, and some equipment is still coming. Steve? Well, nothing specific. I mean, we're doing our own thing with Iran and with a lot of other places, and I think we're doing very well. A lot of progress is being made in a lot of different ways. China is coming along well. I actually think that tremendous progress was made over the last little while with respect to the question you just asked, having to do with Iran. So we'll see, but it's all going to work out. Always does. We get it to work out. If it doesn't, sometimes it takes a little longer. But I get things to work out, Steve.
President Rouhani said that he's going to offer a peace plan of some kind during the UN. Are you open to hearing him out?
I'm always open. I have no plans to meet with them, but I'm always open. I would meet if they wanted, but I have absolutely no plans to meet. We're doing very well. They're not doing well. They're having a hard time, and I'd like to see it be a great country. I would like to see Iran be a great and very wealthy country because it has tremendous capability. It has tremendous people, frankly. And tremendous potential. So we'll see what happens. Certainly the United Nations week is going to be very interesting. I look forward to it. I'm speaking on Tuesday, but on Monday, tomorrow, a lot of meetings with different heads of state. And I leave for the stadium. Prime Minister of India has asked me to make a speech, and I will make a speech in a stadium loaded up with, I guess we're going to have 70,000 people or something like that, whatever the maximum is. So we're going to have a lot. So it's Prime Minister and myself. I look forward to it. I was asked by Prime Minister Modi if I could come. He asked me about 4 weeks ago, and I asked him what it was about, and he said it's a very big deal for India, and I'm very close to the folks from India, the folks that love India because I love India, and I have a lot of respect and a great friendship with the Prime Minister, and he said, would it be possible to do it? And I said, I'll make it possible. So, and I thought while I was here, I'd come. I wanted to see the Coast Guard. I wanted to see FEMA. I think you would say that working along with FEMA has been a terrific thing, right?
Yes, sir, as always.
They've been great. They've really done a job. And local enforcement, local first responders, and law enforcement. The team has been incredible. And I've just spoke with the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who's a fantastic guy, and we will be making everything available. They have a big lot of water right now in Texas, and we're making the federal government totally available, so you'll let us know any questions, you'll let us know, but you know that's happened. And they've made a lot of progress, and hopefully now it's going down pretty good. And people here just fix it up. They get used to it, they fix it up, and it'd be nice if they don't have to get used to it for a little while. We had Harvey, and now we have this, so it's pretty tough. But I want to say FEMA. I want to thank also the people from FEMA, the first responders, law enforcement, everybody, and of course I'm here with the Coast Guard now. Very special people. Yeah. We're going to be doing money. We're going to be doing a lot of things. We help the state of Texas. We've had some very big events in Texas, and we've been there. We've gotten an A+ from everybody, whether it's Harvey or any of the other really tragedies. They were tragedies, but they could have been so much worse. And frankly, with the Coast Guard, the number of people, when we talk about thousands and thousands of people were saved, their lives were saved. What would have been the biggest catastrophe, really of its kind, ended up being not that. Tremendous damage, some life loss, but you would have been talking about anywhere from 10 to 20 or even 25,000 lives would have been lost. So the Coast Guard has really done a job. That's right. That's right. The people of Texas are incredible. They go through some of these really catastrophic floods and hurricanes, and the following morning they're up working and making it beautiful. Last time I came a few days later, and some of the areas were already, you see people out there cutting their lawn. They had 5 feet of water on top of their lawn, and they're cutting their lawn a short time later. No, these are amazing people. These are incredible people. The people of Texas, that's why I'm here today. I'm here for this, and I'm here for the stadium, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mr. President, what do you say to those who blame this on climate change?
Well, they've had floods for many years in Texas, and they've had hurricanes for many years in Texas. And I think one of the big differences is we really have it down to a science now. In the last 3.5 years, we've done something that nobody's done. Nobody's reacted to hurricanes and flooding like the Trump administration. And nobody's helped Texas like the Trump administration has helped. And we've done a good job, and I'm very happy to do that. It's a very, very great state.
Mr. President, are you still planning on
President says Texas is in play in 2020. Do you worry about that for your own reelection?
No, I don't think it is for us, but I mean, it's still, you can't take anything for granted. I just saw polls that we're ahead, but you have to always be careful because, you know, people think you're ahead. I like the concept of it's in play. Last time I won by a lot, and I heard it was in play. And when you hear something's in play, that means close. You work harder. So I don't see how I could possibly lose Texas. They want border security. They want to protect their Second Amendment. They want a lot of things that I stand for. I don't see how it's possible, but you know, you never know. The only way it's possible, people think you're going to win and win by a lot, and therefore they don't go out to vote. So I think we're doing well in Texas.
Mr. President, do you still plan on meeting with the president of Ukraine?
Well, he's a very highly respected man, Prime Minister Modi. He's very, very highly respected. He's also loved in India. He just had an election. He won by a record number, and they had 600 million voters. He won by a record number. It was the biggest election victory in India for, at a minimum, a very long time. I think from the beginning, that's a long time. He's very popular. The people love him. He's done a great job, and he's been very good to us and me. So he asked me if I'd come and speak and introduce him, and I'm doing that.
Mr. President.
Well, I think Indian Americans, people from India, people that love India, they like Trump. You know, we've seen that too. We've seen that even in the polls. I have a great relationship with the people of India, and I have a great relationship with people from India that end up living in the United States and ultimately becoming citizens of the United States. It's been great. It's been special. That's one of the reasons I'm here.
Mr. President, will you meet with the president of Ukraine still, or are you going to mention Vice President Joe Biden when you do?
Well, I won't be mentioning much. I mean, you know, Vice President Biden did a terrible thing the way he put it. I'm not looking to hold him to anything. I'm not looking to hurt him with respect to his son. Joe's got a lot of problems. Joe's got enough problems without that. But what he said was a terrible thing. And, you know, he really made it it was an offer. It was beyond an offer. It was something where he said, I'm not going to give billions of dollars to Ukraine unless they remove this prosecutor. And they removed the prosecutor supposedly in 1 hour. And the prosecutor was prosecuting the company of the Sun and the Sun. And you talk about something that shouldn't have been said. He just shouldn't have said that. Now, as far as my conversation, it was perfect. It was a perfect conversation. It couldn't have been any better. But we'll make a determination about how to release it, releasing it, saying what we said. It was an absolutely perfect conversation. The problem is, when you're speaking to foreign leaders, you don't want foreign leaders to feel that they shouldn't be speaking openly and good. You have to be talking to people. And the same thing for an American president. You want them to be able to express themselves without knowing that not every single word is going to be going out all over the world. When I make calls, though, I know that there are a lot of people in those calls that are listening, intelligence people, with my approval, intelligence people and others. So when you're making a call, when you're talking to a leader of a foreign country, it's very easy to assume that you have many, many people listening, in addition to people listening on the other side. Well, I'm going to talk about it. I mean, I love it. I would love to do whatever I want to do. I'd love to do it. But you have to be a little bit shy about doing that. It's a perfect, everything we said on that call was perfect. By the way, I don't know if you saw, Ukraine put out a major statement last night, said that was a perfect call. It was friendly, it was warm, discussed many topics. And we've done more for Ukraine than President Obama. He sent them pillows and sheets, and we sent them very powerful weapons. What does bother me is that Germany and France and so many other countries aren't helping with Ukraine, and we are. Why are we helping and they're not helping? I mean, they benefit much more than we do, because Ukraine is a block between Russia and the European Union, European countries. So why are they? And that's been a complaint that I've had for a long time. You've heard me say it many times, whether it's for defense or for anything else. Why isn't Germany doing more? Why isn't France doing more? Why aren't the European countries doing more? And why is it always the United States? We send a lot of money to Ukraine. We send a lot of armor, at least I do. President Obama sent, as I told you, sheets and pillows. I send much more than that. But why isn't the European Union doing more? You have to ask that question. They have to do more. Well, we're looking at that. You know, people don't like that, and I don't like it, the concept of it. But we're looking at it. It's perfect. By the way, the conversation was absolutely perfect, absolutely appropriate. What wasn't appropriate was what Joe Biden said, and he said it on tape. And I guess he must have thought he was in front of a lot of friendly people, but he said it on tape in front of a small group, and somebody recorded it, and it's up there to see. And what he said was wrong. And again, I'm not looking to hurt him because he's got his own difficulties. But what he said was wrong. And I know a lot of people are looking at that right now. Yeah.
Can you say whether on this call you raised Joe Biden or his son's name with Ukraine?
Well, I don't even want to mention it, but certainly I'd have every right to. If there's corruption and we're paying lots of money to a country, we don't want a country that we're giving massive aid to be corrupting our system, and we don't want it to be corrupt in any way, but we certainly don't want it to be corrupting our system. I've been hearing about the Ukraine all during this Russian hoax, the witch hunt that they went through that now turned out to be a zero, but after 2 years. All through, I've been hearing the name Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. A lot of things came out of Ukraine. So we don't want to let anything having to do with any of that really, hurt our country. So it would be fine to do it, but you will see one of the finest, one of the nicest, if we do that, or I'll have somebody, I'll give it to a respected source, they can look at it. But what I said was so good. It was a great conversation. It was a really great conversation, and everybody will say that. But unfortunately, what Joe Biden said was a terrible thing. What he said was just an absolutely terrible thing. And he used money. He said, I'm going to hold back money if you don't do. And then they did what he wanted, and then he released the money. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're just not supposed to be doing it.
Would you be okay with the Ukrainian government releasing their version of the transcript?
Well, I think their version would be the same as our version. I mean, it would be identical. But they did. They put out a major statement last night. And in the statement, they said it was a very, very fine conversation. And there was no pressure, no nothing. There was no pressure. That was not pressure. I know when I give pressure, and that was not pressure. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you over at the stadium.